So these are some settings that you should change right now after getting OneUI 8.5 update on your Samsung Galaxy. Starting off with the new Quick Settings panel. Now you can customize this section even more. Just tap on this pencil icon and you can place this slider in both vertical and horizontal way. Also, you can change the size of these toggles. For example, I'm placing my favorite toggles right in the center between these two sliders. Before this, we only had the option of horizontal sliders, but now finally you can customize it even more. Then there's a big change with Screen Recorder. Now with OneUI 8.5, things are a bit easier. I'll just swipe down on my notification panel and I'll tap on Screen Recorder. So here we have this new option of partial screen recording. For example, you're watching a video and you want to screen record a small part of that video. Simply, you have to adjust the size of recorder. There's a small magnifying glass here that lets you do the right adjustment. Once selected, just tap on record and that's it. It'll save you a bit of time and there's no need to edit that screen recording video later on. With this update, Samsung has removed the ability to hide battery percentage that is being shown here in the battery bar. If I go to battery option in settings, there is no toggle here that I can disable to hide or turn off this battery percentage. This will annoy some people, but there's a small workaround. You have to install Good Lock app, then install QuickStar. Here you'll see visibility of indicator icons. Just tap that option and scroll down, you'll see battery icon here. Just tap it and battery icon will be gone. Although this isn't the best solution out there, but try it out if you don't like the battery percentage shown right here. Samsung has finally enabled the long-awaited AirDrop feature on Samsung Galaxy phones, and it's now also working on Galaxy S24 with OneUI 8.5 update. But make sure you enable this one setting before sending files to an iPhone user. For that, in Settings, tap on Connected Devices, now choose Quick Share and scroll down. Here you'll see Share with Apple Devices option. Just make sure this option is enabled. Also, when you want to receive a file from an Apple device, make sure this option under Nearby Sharing that says Who can share with you, this option should be selected to everyone for 10 minutes. This way, you can receive files from an iPhone user without any issue. This update also brings a new call feature, but that is not enabled by default. For that, go to Phone app, tap on these three dots and choose Settings. Now you'll see this call screening option which is sitting at the top. Just tap it and make sure it is enabled. Choose the language you want to have and that's it. This option basically answers calls for you, especially for unknown and spam numbers. A call assistant will ask who is calling, asking their name and reason for call. It will be all displayed here on your screen. While watching videos, if it has some sort of background noise and you want to focus on the voice, you can simply swipe down and tap on Audio Eraser. This will reduce all the background noise. You can select its intensity levels too, from low to high, but surprisingly, it works really well. Just look at this video. The difference is noticeable. Camera has a big new feature and that is the new document scanner. A lot of people will think it's just the same scanner we had before. It's not the same and it's different from this T letter written here. Just place the document in front of the camera and tap on scan. The animations look really good here. Further, you can try out different filters and if there's a finger that got scanned with your document, you can simply erase that by tapping here. So it's a really powerful feature that will be used a lot on Samsung phones and many don't really know about it. Once again, in the camera app, if you take a lot of live photos, then Samsung has added a new option for you and this option is Auto Motion Photos. Camera will automatically capture a motion photo if there's any movement in the scene. If the scene is static, then a simple photo will be taken without any motion. In this way, you don't have to enable that live or motion photo option again and again. Similarly, just like iPhones, Galaxy S25 also gets that dual recording option. In video mode, just tap here and choose this option. You can pick between different styles, but finally, dual capture is there on Galaxy S25 that you can try out. In Pro Video mode, you can see the real-time preview of cinematic LUTs before hitting the record button. This feature is also here on Galaxy S25, so make sure to try it out. The Gallery app now got a useful feature that was kind of locked before, and you could only use that through Galaxy Labs. But it's working now. By default, this is the private album option in Gallery that you can try out by tapping here on menu. Now choose private album. All the images stored here won't be shown up anywhere else, and you don't have to create another gallery like what happens when you use Secure Folder. All your photos that are available in Gallery can be moved to Private Album. Just pick those photos or videos, tap on More, and choose Move to Private Album. Private Album is locked and secure with your fingerprint. I don't know why we still don't have a lock option for recently deleted images and videos. It's there on iPhone, but Samsung should add it on Galaxy phones as well. In Gallery, Galaxy AI got a massive update too. So if you're editing an image, previously you had to save that image before making a new edit. But now you can continue to edit an image until you're done, and after that you can save it. The object selection also got better and precise. Plus, you can edit an image using just a text prompt. For example, I'll convert this image from night to day, and it works pretty well. There's a new Creative Studio feature with this update, and it lets you create some cool AI stuff like stickers, invitations, greeting cards, and more. If you're still not using Bixby after this update, then you're making a mistake. Bixby now uses Perplexity AI, and it is a lot better. It gives more detailed and precise answers, plus you can use it to control different device settings. If you want to change any setting, but you don't know the exact setting name, then simply type in your query. Galaxy AI will analyze your text, and it'll show the setting nearest to your query. For example, here I'll mention that my eyes are getting red. Now you can see it has shown my eye comfort shield setting. In the same way, if I type "my internet is slow," it shows me the options that can solve my issue. If you have multiple Galaxy devices all having the same Samsung account, then there's new file sharing option that works really well. But once again, the other device should be having the same Samsung account, and it should be nearby. There's a new option in the Clock app, and that is Time Zone Converter or Slider. Just tap here and choose this icon. Now you can simply swipe your finger on this slider to go forward or backward for different regions. Also, this is the new pill-shaped layout that is consistent with almost all Samsung apps. The battery page has now a new layout, and Samsung has simplified the power saving mode. There's standard power saving and maximum power saving, so there's no ultra option here that used to exist before. So those were some settings that you should check out right after getting this new update on your Samsung Galaxy. Make sure to subscribe, and with that said, I'll catch you in the next one.